I'm addicted to winning. The more you win, the more you want to win. All you can do is all you can do. Great achievers are driven, not so much by the pursuit of success, but by the fear of failure. You have to act and act now. You have to believe in what you do in order to get what you want. When I do something, it is all about self-discovery. I want to learn and discover my own limits. I have had all the disadvantages required for success. Our goal is simply to become the desktop for e-businesses. The only way to get ahead is to find errors in conventional wisdom. See things in the present, even if they are in the future. Winning is not enough. All others must lose. Life's a journey. It's a journey about discovering limits. What is Oracle? A bunch of people. And all of our products were just ideas in the heads of those people, ideas that people typed into a computer, tested, and that turned out to be the best idea for a database or for a programming language. I started NetSuite. NetSuite was my idea. I called up Evan Goldberg and said, "We're going to do ERP on the internet, software as a service." 6 months later, Mark Benioff, finding out what NetSuite was doing, and kind of copied it. We think a modern cloud lets you decide when you want to upgrade. We don't decide for you. When you write a program for Android, you use the Oracle Java tools for everything, and at the very end, you push a button and say, "Convert this to Android format." I own a home in Kyoto, Japan, actually on the temple on grounds in Nanzenji that is going to become a Japanese art museum. Maui reminded me of San Diego, beautiful, but crowded. We conducted the experiment. I mean, it's been done. We saw Apple with Steve Jobs. We saw Apple without Steve Jobs. We saw Apple with Steve Jobs. Now, we're gonna see Apple without Steve Jobs. I am so disturbed by kids who spend all day playing video games. Autonomy was shopped to us. We looked at the price and thought it was absurdly high. When you innovate, you've got to be prepared for everyone telling you you're nuts. Oracle's latest database, version 12c, was specifically designed for the cloud. Oracle 12c makes all your Oracle applications multi-tenant applications without you having to make any changes whatsoever to your applications. I have had all of the disadvantages required for success. It's surreal to think that I own this beautiful island. It doesn't feel like anyone can own Lanai. What it feels like to me is this really cool 21st century engineering project, where I get to work with the people of Lanai to create a prosperous and sustainable Eden in the Pacific. One of the great things about Lanai is that the weather is always fabulous. Always 82 degrees and sunny. The problem is that, like California now, Lanai needs more water. We've announced an Oracle Virtual Compute appliance, a bunch of low-cost commodity servers running Linux, integrated in our case, with InfiniBand, connected with InfiniBand versus the traditional Ethernet. People really criticize professional athletes going into the Olympics. People don't like change. A bunch of people don't like the Olympics now because we've added skateboarding. We're modernizing the sport. Oracle's got 100+ enterprise applications live in the #cloud. Today, SAP's got nothing but SuccessFactors until 2020. Bill Gates wants people to think he's Edison, when he's really Rockefeller. Referring to Gates as the smartest man in America isn't right. Wealth isn't the same thing as intelligence. I wish HP nothing but the best. I think HP is an icon. Those of us who had their careers in the Valley think of Dave Packard and Bill Hewlett as role models. We would love to be half as good as they were. Bill Gates is the pope of the personal computer industry. He decides who's going to build. They don't call it the internet anymore, they call it cloud computing. I'm no longer resisting the name. Call it what you want. It's Microsoft versus mankind, with Microsoft having only a slight lead. Lanai at one time grew 98% of the world's pineapples. But the world's pineapples are now grown in two places, Costa Rica and Panama, because no one wants to spend $45 for a pineapple from the United States. To model yourself after Steve Jobs is like, I'd like to paint like Picasso, what should I do? Should I use more red? My favorite museums are things like the Frick Museum in New York and the Huntington Hartford in Pasadena, where it's someone's home that you walk through. We have most of the software industry running autonomy. What is Oracle? It's people. We rely on our HR department to build this organization, to help find those people, to help grow those people. Game playing is more fun when it's virtual because you're more successful. In reality, only one person gets to be LeBron. Be careful about virtual relationships with artificially intelligent pieces of software. A corporation's primary goal is to make money. Government's primary role is to take a big chunk of that money and give it to others. Taking care of your employees is extremely important and very, very visible. Our goal is very simply to become the desktop for e-businesses. I believe people have to follow their dreams. I did. The social network is the paradigm of the modern service application. I'm going to start these art museums that are basically converted homes, and I have one for modern art, and I have one for 19th century European art, and one for French Impressionism. I've got Japanese. When I was a kid a long time ago, when the sun rose, I was outside on my bike. If my parents were lucky, poor parents, I would be home before it got dark. We think we're going to be especially strong in platform where we have our two platform brands. Our database brand is the Oracle Database 12c, and our programming language brand is this thing called Java. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. Sure, there's the talent, but there also has to be the will. Give me human will and the intense desire to win, and it will trump talent every day of the week. You can't spend as much money as I have, even if you try. I've been trying. Act confident, even when you're not. The things that caused problems for me in school are the same things that help me succeed in the world. Think of it as you want it, not as it is. You realize that life is short and fragile, and when you are facing walls of water, you understand your own mortality can change and how quickly things could change. If you do everything that everyone else does in business, you're going to lose. The only way to really be ahead is to be different.